Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today's subject is Science Standard 9th. Our current chapter is chapter number 1, Matter in our surrounding. In the previous session, we have discussed about the properties of solid, liquid and gases. These properties also we have seen about its compressibility, the intermolecular space, intermolecular force and about the shape, size of solid, liquid gases. Also I told one thing, there are 5 states of matter, but here we are considering only 3 states, solid, liquid and gases. In the last session we have also discussed about how to convert solid into liquid state, liquid into solid. Suppose solid, we will write here solid, liquid and gaseous. Solid, liquid and gaseous. When we have to convert solid state into the liquid state, heat is applied. So this solid will convert into liquid by there is a change in the intermolecular space of molecules of a solid. They go away from each other. There is a force of attraction will decrease between the molecules when we apply the heat. So when we have to convert solid into liquid, we have to heat the substances so it melts. And again liquid into gases, if we have to convert the liquid substance into the gaseous, we have to apply the heat. So the molecules are go away from each other. Intermolecular space will increase and force of attraction will decrease. So by heat they are going away from each other, and in this way the solid converted into liquid and liquid is converted into gases. And the same way when we cool the solid, when we cool the gaseous substance, it will convert into liquid, and we cool the liquid, it convert into solid. We have seen in the last period with the help of one example. It is the best example because water is available on the earth naturally in the 3 states. Ice, solid state, water is a liquid state and the water vapor is a gaseous state. So when we cool the water vapor, it converted into the water, and when we cool the water, it will be converted into the solid, means ice state. Now we will see how much heat should be given to solid to convert into liquid. So amount of heat, how much we have to heat the solid substance. So we have to heat the solid substance up to its melting point. What is the meaning of melting? The temperature we have to give on to the solid when it turns into the liquid. This temperature is called melting point of that solid substance. All the solid substances are having the different melting points. So when we apply the heat, it will convert into solid, and that point is called melting point of that solid substances. Now student, take out page number 7 of your textbook. The definitions of melting point and boiling points are given. Underline these definitions On page number 7, it is given that the temperature at which a solid melts to become a liquid. At the atmospheric pressure is called melting point. All the solids are having the different melting points because they require the different temperature to convert in the liquid. But here one new word is there, atmospheric pressure. What is the meaning of this atmospheric pressure? This is a new word for you. So when we know there is atmosphere around us and it also exerts the pressure on us. The atmospheric pressure is more at the sea level. It decreases as we go on the hills or mountains. So atmospheric pressure means the pressure given by the atmosphere. You will learn in detail about atmospheric pressure in the chapters of physics. Here only you have to remember at atmospheric pressure. So the temperature given to the solid to convert into liquid at atmospheric pressure is called melting point. So this is the definition of melting point. And the melting point of an ice is 0 degree Celsius. This is the Celsius. Celsius is an unit of temperature. Also, I introduce one more unit of temperature is Kelvin. This is Celsius and Kelvin. These are two units. Also there is one more unit of temperature, that is Fahrenheit. But here we are discussing only these two units of the temperature, and they are Celsius and Kelvin. Now, what is the relation between Celsius and Kelvin? That also I will tell you. 0 degrees Celsius is equal to 273 Kelvin. Remember this is very important. 0 degrees Celsius means 273 degree. While writing the Kelvin, don't write the degree. 0 degree Celsius is equal to 273 Kelvin. If it is asked that convert the 10 degree Celsius into Kelvin, so we will add 273 plus 10 is equal to 283 Kelvin. So while converting the Celsius into Kelvin, we have to add 273. Kelvin is a SI unit of temperature, and the degree Celsius we are using from our lower standards. So melting point means the temperature at which the solid melts and converted into liquid at atmospheric pressure is called melting point. The different solids are having the different melting points. And also we have seen here how to convert the degree Celsius into Kelvin. What is the relation between these two units of temperature? Again here we will see now liquid into gaseous. The temperature is given to the liquid, so it will convert it into the gaseous. and it starts boiling. First of all, it starts boiling and then it will convert it into vapor. When we have to convert the water into vapor, we can give the heat to the water. It starts boiling and then vapors come out from the bowl. So that temperature is called boiling point. So first we saw melting point, that number 2 boiling point. So temperature at which the liquid converts into the gaseous at atmospheric pressure. Again, this word is very important because the pressure is different at the different places on the earth, and at the different atmospheric pressure the melting point and the boiling point also differ. So you have to mention at atmospheric pressure in your definition. So the temperature at which liquid converts in the gaseous at atmospheric pressure, that point is called boiling point of that particular liquid. Again we will take the example of water. The boiling point of water, we know boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. If we have to convert this 100 degrees Celsius into Kelvin, we have to add plus 273, so is equal to 100 plus 273 Kelvin is equal to 373 Kelvin. So this is the conversion of liquid into gaseous. When the solid converted into liquid, it is called melting point. When liquid is converted into solid, it is called boiling point. So we have come across up till now the two definitions, boiling point and melting point. Now our new point, let's see. I have already drawn a figure here. Okay, one thing remaining. When we have to convert 0 degree Celsius, means degree Celsius into Kelvin, we have to add 273. But if it is asked that convert the Kelvin into degree Celsius, so what we have to do? We have to subtract 273. It's very easy. Suppose 573 Kelvin temperature is given and we have to convert this into degree Celsius. So it will be 573 minus 273 degrees Celsius is equal to 300 degree Celsius. So it's very easy. It can be asked in FB and also in the MCQs and match the pairs, or also the sums can be asked. So to convert Celsius into Kelvin, we have to add 273, and to convert Kelvin into degree Celsius, we have to subtract 273. So the conversion is possible in this way. Now see, I have already drawn one figure here. It's a stand here, and here there is a beaker. In the beaker there are the piece of ice. There are ice, piece of ice, and when we start, this is the burner. This is ice. This is stirrer. Stirrer means with which we stir the ice pieces. This is the thermometer. Thermometer, you know what is thermometer? Thermometer is an instrument through which we can calculate, we can count the temperature. So this is the thermometer, this is stand, and the figure is like this. There are ice cubes. When we started heating this ice cube, so what will happen? After some time, these ice cubes are converted into liquid. So when we supply the heat to the solid substances, this solid get converted into liquid. But here we can see that when we give the heat to this ice cube, there is no any increase or rise in the temperature we can see in the thermometer. We have already started to give the heat, but no any rise in temperature in thermometer. So where this heat goes? So these we are giving the heat, but no any notation is here in the thermometer. So this heat is utilized to increase the intermolecular space of an ice and also decrease the force of attraction. Ice is a solid. So when we start heating, it is utilized to increase the space and or we can say to decrease the force. And this heat is a hidden heat because we have given it, but there is no any notation. This heat is called the latent heat. Or we can say the hidden heat because it is not seen. We have given but not seen is called latent heat. Latent heat. And when all the bonds between these molecules of ice breaks, then only it will convert into liquid and then the rise in temperature will be shown in the thermometer. So this is called latent heat. When this latent heat is from solid to liquid, it is called latent heat of fusion. So the latent heat of solid into liquid is called latent heat of fusion. This definition is also given in your textbook, page number 7. Always when you start watching the video of your science, then keep the textbook and pencil with you. Whatever is given here, you have to underline these things in your textbook. Here given the latent heat. Now this is latent heat, but what is the amount? So when 1 kg, it is given here, when 1 kg of solid, it is on the upper side of the page of science 7 number. The amount of heat that is required to change 1 kg of a solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure and its melting point is known as latent heat of fusion. Underline, at its melting point, the heat which is given to convert solid into liquid, this hidden heat which is not shown on the thermometer, this is called latent heat of fusion. Underline, and when I give homework, you have to write the definition from the textbook only. Also, the definition of boiling point is given in the second paragraph. The temperature at which the liquid starts boiling at the atmospheric pressure is known as a boiling point. So you have to write the definition from the textbook, also underline that. Now again, our next point, suppose instead of ice here there is a water. This is the thermometer, this is the stirrer, and when we give the started heat to this water, will not suddenly show the rise in temperature in thermometer. We are giving heat, but it is not seen in the thermometer. So where this heat goes? This heat again utilized to break down the bonds between the molecules of water. So here heat is given, but it is not seen in the thermometer. So this is called latent heat, means hidden heat, and this is hidden heat of, or we can say latent heat of vaporization. So number 2, latent heat of vaporization. So what is the latent heat of fusion? The heat which is utilized to convert the solid molecules of ice or whatever it may be into liquid. So this is called latent heat of fusion, and the heat which is given to convert the solid into vapor but hidden heat, that is called latent heat of vaporization. So up till now we have seen 4 definitions: melting point, boiling point, latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization. So I hope you are clear with this 4 concept about the solid, liquid and gas. Today we will see one more point. Generally, when the heat is given to the solid, it will convert into liquid. Solid to liquid when heat is given. And when heat is given to the liquid, it will convert into gaseous. Ice to water, water to water vapor. When we cool the water vapor, it converts into liquid, means water. And again when we cool the water, it converted into ice. Generally this happens. But sometimes when we give heat to the solid, it will directly convert into the gaseous state. Some examples are there. When we heat the solid without leaving any ash or any residue. So these some substances are camphor. Camphor is a substance. Camphor means, in Gujarati we can say kapoor, which we utilize while our puja. So when we give heat to the kapoor, it directly vaporizes without converting into the liquid. So these type of substances are called sublimating substances, and process is called sublimation. One experiment is given in your textbook. Camphor. Again, one more example, the naphthalene balls. In Gujarati we can say damarni goli. We utilize in the sweater or blankets which we keep for some times in our bags. So we utilize that naphthalene balls. So due to it, when we open that bag after 6 or 7 months, so it will disappear. Where it goes? It will convert into vapor to protect our blankets from the insects. So this is also one of the process of the sublimation. So camphor into vapor and also the naphthalene balls into the vapor. So this process is called sublimation, and the substances are called sublimating substances. In detail we will see in the next video. Now our time for homework. Today we have seen the definitions of boiling point, melting point, latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization, sublimation. Also we have learned how to convert degree Celsius into Kelvin and from Kelvin into degree Celsius. In homework, define boiling point, melting point, latent heat of fusion, latent heat of vaporization, sublimation, and from the exercise we have to solve question 1 and question number 2. These are related to the conversion of a degree Celsius into Kelvin and from Kelvin into degree Celsius. So this is your homework for today. Okay students, bye, take care.